Deceived by Dreams. Chapter 1. The Beginning. Michael Richardson grew up in a small provincial town where every day felt like the previous one. His father worked at a factory, and his mother worked in a local shop. From a young age, Michael dreamed of the big city and the chance to become someone significant. He studied hard, not missing a single opportunity that could bring him closer to his goal. At 18, with a suitcase in one hand and a scholarship in the other, he left for New York to attend university. Life in the metropolis was tough. Studying, part-time jobs, and a lack of friends created many challenges. But Michael didn't give up. His first step toward success came in his third year when, working as a barista in a small cafe, he noticed an advertisement for a startup competition. Always interested in technology, he knew this was his chance. He spent days and nights developing his idea, a real-time financial data analysis app. He managed to attract investors' attention, and soon he founded his first company. Despite his lack of experience and numerous mistakes, Michael managed to bring the project to success. The app became popular among small businesses, and by the age of 25, Michael was already the owner of a multimillion-dollar company. Chapter 2. First Success. With the successful start of his company, Michael Richardson was on the path to his first big victory. The financial data analysis app quickly gained popularity among entrepreneurs and small businesses. His product helped businesses optimize expenses and find new ways to increase profits, making it an indispensable tool in the modern business world. With each new client, Michael's reputation grew. He became a frequent guest at business events and conferences, where he presented his company and shared his experiences. Soon, he received an invitation to one of the most prestigious events in the business world, the annual Forum of Young Entrepreneurs. The forum was held in a luxurious hotel on Manhattan, and here Michael first tasted true luxury. He spent the day participating in panel discussions and networking with influential people, and in the evening, at a grand reception, he realized his life had changed forever. Among the guests was Lauren Blake, a famous top model and style icon. Their eyes met by chance, and Michael felt insecure despite all his success. But Lauren approached him and started a conversation. They talked throughout the evening, and Michael felt a new and exciting chapter of his life beginning. Returning home after the forum, Michael realized that his success now lay not only in recognition and money, but also in new opportunities and people he met along the way. He knew that to reach even greater heights, he needed to keep moving forward without looking back. Chapter 3. A Life of Revelry. With each passing day, Michael Richardson's success continued to grow. His company kept expanding, attracting new investors and broadening its client base. Michael's financial possibilities became virtually limitless, and he began enjoying all the privileges his new status offered. Michael moved into a luxurious penthouse atop one of New York's tallest skyscrapers. From his balcony, he had a breathtaking view of the city, and every morning he woke up feeling like the king of the world. His new home hosted noisy parties where the most influential and famous people in the city gathered. Every evening was like a celebration. Michael surrounded himself with luxury. Expensive cars, yachts, exclusive restaurants, and designer clothes became part of his daily life. He easily made acquaintances with the most beautiful women, and models from the fashion world were frequent guests at his events. But despite all this, he never forgot his one true love, Sarah. Sarah was the complete opposite of Michael's glamorous but superficial acquaintances. She was a kind-hearted and intelligent woman working in a non-profit organization. Their meetings were rare, but every moment spent with her was precious to Michael. She saw him not just as a successful businessman, but as a man with a kind heart. During this time, Michael began actively participating in charitable actions. He organized grand charity events where enormous sums of money were raised to help those in need. He knew that his success should benefit not only him but society as a whole. Michael founded several funds supporting orphanages, nursing homes, and homeless assistance programs. Balancing between a life of revelry and charity, Michael continued his journey, diving deeper into the world of luxury and wealth, but never losing sight of his true values. Chapter 4. Meeting Sarah. Against the backdrop of Michael Richardson's glamorous and eventful life, Sarah Miller held a special place. They first met at one of the charity events organized by his company. Sarah, working in a non-profit organization, represented a project to help homeless children. Michael was impressed by her dedication and sincere desire to make the world a better place. The evening was memorable for both of them. Despite the numerous guests and noisy festivities, Michael and Sarah found time to talk privately. Their conversation flowed from discussing charity to sharing personal stories and dreams. Michael realized he had found someone who shared his values and aspirations. Over time, their meetings became regular. They spent weekends together, strolling through parks and visiting quiet cafes away from the paparazzi's eyes. Sarah introduced Michael to a different side of life, not related to wealth and luxury. She showed him the world of simple joys, where the main thing was sincere emotions and true feelings. Michael gradually began to change his priorities. He devoted more time to charity, personally contributing to the projects Sarah led. Together, they opened a new center for homeless children, where Michael often visited, interacting with the children and seeing the results of his help. These relationships became a real solace for him. Sarah taught Michael to find joy in small things, and he began to value moments spent with her more than all the wealth in the world. She became his muse and inspiration, the person he was willing to change for. However, despite his deep feelings for Sarah, Michael couldn't completely abandon his former life. He still hosted lavish parties and mingled with models and celebrities, but his heart now belonged only to one woman. These internal contradictions made his life even more complex, but Michael was ready for any challenges to keep his love. Chapter 5. Charitable Endeavors. Inspired by Sarah and her work, Michael Richardson decided to devote more time and resources to charitable projects. He understood that his success obligated him to help those less fortunate. Together with Sarah, they began organizing large-scale charity events that drew public attention and attracted celebrities, politicians, and business leaders. The first of these events was a grand affair. Michael rented a huge hall in one of the city's most prestigious hotels and invited well-known artists and musicians to perform. The entire evening was dedicated to raising funds for building a new orphanage. Every guest could contribute, and the results exceeded all expectations. Several $million were raised. These events became regular. Michael and Sarah organized auctions, charity dinners, and concerts. Thanks to his influence and contacts, Michael attracted major sponsors, enabling them to realize increasingly ambitious projects. They built schools, hospitals, and shelters, helping thousands of people change their lives for the better. Children held a special place in Michael's heart. He often visited the orphanages and schools they built, talked to the children, gave gifts, and organized celebrations. Seeing the children's smiles made him feel that his efforts were not in vain. Each visit reminded him of the importance of what they were doing. Meanwhile, Michael's personal life remained eventful. Despite his deep feelings for Sarah, he didn't abandon his former lifestyle. This created some tension in their relationship, but Sarah continued to support him, understanding how important it was for Michael to maintain a balance between his personal desires and his commitment to helping others. Thus, Michael continued to live on two fronts, as a successful businessman and a generous philanthropist. His life was full of events and meetings, but in his heart, he remained devoted to his cause and his love for Sarah. Chapter 6. Whirlwind of Passions. Michael Richardson continued to balance between two worlds, a life of luxury and charity. His days were filled with business meetings and working on new projects, while his nights were noisy parties and social events. He was always surrounded by admirers and models from the fashion world, constantly sought to be near the successful businessman. However, despite being surrounded by beautiful women, Michael's thoughts always returned to Sarah. She was his island of calm and true values in the turbulent sea of his life. Their relationship continued to develop despite all the difficulties and disagreements. Michael tried to spend as much time with Sarah as possible, enjoying simple pleasures away from the hustle and bustle of the city. But such a life couldn't help but affect their relationship. Periodically, conflicts and misunderstandings arose. Sarah felt she couldn't always share Michael with his turbulent lifestyle and numerous admirers. Sometimes she felt he was more passionate about his success and wealth than their relationship. One evening, after another lavish party, Michael returned home in a disturbed state. He realized he couldn't continue living like this. Constant tension and internal contradictions began to wear him down. he decided it was time to change his life. The next day, Michael called Sarah and suggested they meet. They went to their favorite cafe, where they could always talk openly. Michael confessed he was tired of his revelrous life and wanted to dedicate more time to their relationship and charity. He realized that true happiness for him lay not in wealth and luxury, but in love and helping others. Sarah supported his decision. Together, they began planning a future where the main things would be not success and money, but true values and care for others. Michael decided to gradually step back from the social scene and focus on his charitable projects. He understood that for the sake of Sarah and his own happiness, he was ready to change his life. Chapter 7. Old Age and Giving Away Wealth. Years passed, and Michael Richardson gradually withdrew from business bustle, fully dedicating himself to charity and his relationship with Sarah. Together, they realized numerous projects that helped thousands of people. Michael felt happy and fulfilled, seeing his efforts bring real benefits. Over time, Michael and Sarah built a family and enjoyed a peaceful life surrounded by children and grandchildren. Michael didn't regret his past mistakes, understanding they helped him become who he was. He maintained good relationships with many of his old friends, but his main circle now consisted of family and the charitable community. When Michael reached old age, he decided it was time to arrange his estate. Together with Sarah, they began the process of distributing their property and savings. Each of their funds received significant amounts to continue their work. Orphanages, hospitals, shelters for the homeless and elderly all felt the support of Michael and Sarah. At the last major charity event, Michael gave a farewell speech. He spoke about the importance of compassion, help, and love. Looking back, he realized his life was meaningful thanks to his deeds and the people he loved. Michael hoped his example would inspire others to do good deeds. After giving away their estate, Michael and Sarah settled in a small, cozy house away from the city bustle. Their life was peaceful and measured. Michael spent his days reminiscing about the past and enjoying the present. He often thought about how much he had achieved and how much more could be done for others. Chapter 8. The Revelation. As the years passed, Michael and Sarah enjoyed the serenity of their life more and more. They were surrounded by the care of family and the respect of the community. Michael felt he had lived a worthwhile life, helping others and making the world a better place. However, all this time, a truth lay hidden in the depths of his mind that he couldn't realize. One evening, while Michael sat by the fireplace, reflecting on the years gone by, strange images and sensations began to surface in his mind. He remembered details that had previously seemed insignificant, but now took on new meaning. These memories became so real and vivid that Michael felt puzzled and confused. That night, he had a dream in which he found himself in a completely different place. It was not the cozy room of his house, but a white, sterile ward. Around him stood people in white coats, and beyond the windows were fences. He heard voices talking about treatment and rehabilitation. Suddenly, he realized that all these people were not doctors and nurses, but his old friends and acquaintances. Waking up, Michael knew his memories couldn't be just a dream. He began searching for answers and eventually turned to Sarah. He told her about his suspicions, and she, with a heavy heart, decided to tell him the truth. Sarah confessed that all these years, Michael had been in a psychiatric clinic. His magnificent life was just a product of his imagination, and all the people he knew were either staff or patients of the clinic, playing along with his fantasies. Michael was shocked. It was hard for him to accept that his incredible success, love for Sarah, charity, and even his family were all illusions. He realized that his real life was entirely different. Loneliness, pain, and struggle with his demons. But he also realized that even in his fantasy, he remained a man with a kind heart, striving to help others. This truth changed everything. Michael began the process of acceptance and understanding of his reality. He thanked the clinic staff for their support and understanding, for helping him live a life, though illusory, full of meaning. He decided to use his knowledge and experience to help other patients find their way to healing and understanding. The end. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you for your attention.